Hello, this is Dalen75 Games. Welcome back to another Let's Roleplay of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm Theron, the Dalish Mage, and we are currently in Haven. I've spoken to Cassandra last. Let's see what Cullen has to say after what happened at Redcliffe.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
I know you're worried about having the mages here. Give them a chance to prove themselves.
I'm not questioning their ability or their intentions, but we cannot ignore the risks. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need their help. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
No, I will be watching them. Are you with anyone? Why would I be asking that?
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
What would you like to know?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages, that sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of Lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Before coming here, my keeper suggested I avoid Templars. Do they do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
You've made it clear that you consider mages a threat.
Any mage can be. I won't pretend otherwise. I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
I agree.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars at our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
13? That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical? The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's harrowing, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
It's odd life. It's like being under guard. Guarding and being watched, and then as a Templar, and then as a mage in the circle, you're constantly being watched and guarded.
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
That's true, actually. If you don't talk to them, you're not going to know much about them or what they're into.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Another time, then.
Well, that's, I guess, the history of Cullen. Apparently he was at Kirkwall when it fell apart. That's what Cassandra told me. Let's see what my other...
Flissa wants to know if you have anything that can make...
If there's anything this guy actually sells. Oh. Acolyte Lightning Staff. See, that's very low. Barbarian Maul. I'm not sure if they actually update. It doesn't seem to me that they do. Sturdy Bianca Grip. Do they sell no schematics anywhere? We definitely need to come up with more income. Oh,
I had something with...
I didn't notice that. I forgot that I really have to sell. Turtis Staff. We're saving that. Life Taker Staff. Which one is mine? Mine's the Life Taker. Gift. Empty Grip. Oh, we'll be able to enhance that. I think with my current staff, we'll be able to take out what's in there and put in the grip. Gift of the Mountain Father. We're saving that. Staff of Stasis. What? It's cold damage. Huh, I don't actually remember even getting that. Raider Longbow. Let's sell that. Why did I go up to Gift of the Mountain Father? You know what? I'm going to pause it because it's going to take a little while. I'll be right back. Alright, sold a bunch. I have 1,350 gold again. I haven't actually had to use it before going to Redcliffe, or even Val Royeaux. I bought a few things at Val Royeaux. But Redcliffe is where I basically emptied out my purse.
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
What happened to his nose? Looks like it was broken recently.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
We can't know what's coming. Best not to get too comfortable.
I can't disagree with that. But maybe you should try to relax while you can. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
I suppose Cassandra would be the one to give me that news. The world is going to end. Yeah, I was thinking about what I saw Liliana do. That's a little, I just appreciate her a lot more, and especially her loyalty. But I didn't know that she could be so vicious when it was
We'll have that for
required.
you right away.
Tell Quartermaster Thren she has my thanks.
Maybe I should have
Your
a
thanks and
drink.
a good drink would go far with Quartermaster Threadman.
Can I get you anything?
I've already asked these questions, but I'm gonna buy a drink from her anyhow.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Is there any means of actually having a drink? There was in previous Dragon Age games. Okay.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
Do you have a problem with our new allies? With mages?
No problem with mages. You're fine, right? My problem is magic. If mages sat on their hands, everything would be fine. I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
I like her.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
Oh, you're from wherever. I'm from north wherever.
What?
North wherever. Oh, we had fun on street or in local tavern.
Oh, hardy ha. Oh, funny you. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Well, it's not like that for other elves. I know that.
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
I'm just interested in talking to an elf like me.
Don't think so.
Why not?
Well, maybe you're all right, but most elves are too elfy. Like that Solas, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's a lot of tradition there. Should it just be thrown away?
Your great-grandfather's dead. Why aren't you dead? You're throwing away tradition.
That makes sense to you.
None of it does in the city. That's why I'm not like an elf.
She's a city elf through and through.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Yeah, as you may have noticed, I'm not trying to flesh out all the conversations, so I have a reason to return to them in the future. Things open up. Like, if you notice, after we got the mages on our side, that people are willing to say more to you now.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel? Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Dorian was sure, impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest, failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
That's very true. But I'm here with the army, the Inquisition army. What do I have to fear? I mean, they may send... Oh, Dorian's right here. I actually didn't even know he was there. Standing right there. Yeah, I can't be in a safer place. They could send assassins, but, you know, I'll have to... Wherever I go, I'll be watching. I'm not just going to get drunk and fall asleep on the floor in a tavern somewhere.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Hallam-Sharal? Cows milking farmers?
I take it you don't agree?
On the contrary, I approve. Heartily. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
So what? They all turn into blood mages, worship dragons, and then take over?
Not at first. But you'd be a fool not to see where this could lead. Thing is, The Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed, by inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
You certainly think highly of yourself.
It's true. I could be more modest, but I'd be lying. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
What do you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see.
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply. About everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
Wow.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Well, it gives me cause to go into the dungeons and speak to him. Elf root grows randomly even up here. And yes, we do need a lot of it. Hundreds of elf root, actually. There's a bunch over here. Named after my race. I guess the Shems named it that. Can't ever see them naming something human root. Shem root. Oh, we would call something Shem root if we had cause to. Alright, I think I spoke to Liliana already. I'm not sure though.
Mages. Yeah, lovely.
They should have this breach sealed soon enough.
I suppose their gold spends as well as anyone else's.
Okay, well, let's go inside. I wouldn't mind seeing this Alexis behind bars. He basically was responsible for destroying the world, though. We'll have to see that in the next video. I'm going to talk to Vivienne right now.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
I knew you would have a proper grasp of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages?
It's not so much an opinion as grasping the obvious. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
I can understand that, but, you know, keepers guide the clans. And their first and the other apprentices, I mean, if we have too many, obviously they're sent off to other clans. But it doesn't make any sense how it could be such a danger. I mean, I guess our keeper is wise, and the training is passed on to guard ourselves and protect ourselves. But if we ever become an abomination, then the clan's to hunt us down. But that's never happened in my lifetime, or I don't think it's happened in my Howren's, my keeper's lifetime either. It's very, very rare, and they're just stories that she's passed down to us, and, you know, that have been passed down through the ages through our clan. Okay, magic's dangerous as fire. Anyone who forgets his truth gets burned.
The Dalish get along just fine without Templars or Circle Towers.
As I understand it, the elves limit their risk by refusing to have more than 3 mages in a clan. Tell me, what becomes of the Dalish youngster who is not appointed first or second?
If a clan can't raise the mage, they're sent to another that's in need of a first or second.
And if there are no clans in need of a new apprentice? For those who value survival, sentimentality is not an option. Tell me something. As you will no doubt have a hand in shaping it, what future do you see for mages?
Well, this is... I can't honestly say that this should be free. I feel like I'm intruding on somebody else's culture. I think that they do need a circle. And I do somewhat trust her judgment in this. So I think they should have the circle, because it seems that they have a history of fighting and turning into abominations and using blood magic. We need mages in the chantry.
The circle has to be restored if you want to keep the peace.
That's comforting to hear, but you'll find opposition to the idea even among friends. It's something to consider, my dear.
Alright, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.